Northwestern football players are one step closer to forming a union. In a potentially game-changing moment, the National Labor Relations Board ruled that a group of players were actually employees of the university, making them eligible to form or join a union.
And now we've got someone who says the landmark decision opens the door for a floodgate of changes. Joining us now is Eugene Lee, ETL Associate CEO and President, who has represented players from 12 NFL teams. Eugene, your thoughts on this?
I think that it is a landmark decision. It's going to open up the door for collective bargaining to a multitude of matters, including working conditions, state of facilities, player treatment. Our two-a-day practice is a thing of the past. Player safety, and finally, but last but not least, compensation.
This is a mess.
It is. It is.
But, you know, the bottom line is very simple. Students are not employees. I mean, you can get a job if you're working, but you're not an employee of the university. You are a student getting something from. When you get something from somebody, you know, you pay them. It's not the other way around.
I think they're deeming students employees because of the revenues they generate, especially in the big money sports, such as football. You're generating billions of dollars. Your annual scholarship is $75,000.
But should colleges just become like Class A teams for professional sports?
No, and that's the downside. That's the risk to this decision. If players unionize, you're going to see the same situation possibly that you've seen in the NFL for the past several years in terms of labor unrest. The possibility of strikes by players, lockouts by college athletic departments. Pandora's
so Eugene,
box.
Full disclosure, I was a Division I NCAA athlete. I ran for track and field for LSU. It was made very clear to me that academics came first, athletics were second. I was not an employee of this university. I did receive money, but that was to accommodate my situation at the university. What seems to me could be a huge problem, by the way, lockout strikes could be in the future if this actually happens. What happens when you just think about the raw fundamentals of the teams? If all of a sudden you've got a unionized team, or they're gonna have to play other unionized teams, right. You're gonna have this whole new divided, college athletic society. It's going to be horrible.
The key point to remember is that the federal agency, the labor agency, does not have jurisdiction over public universities. So only private institutions such as Northwestern or possibly my alma mater, Notre Dame, can have this right to unionize.
But players. You know how when it happens one place, it bleeds over into other places. I mean, that's likely to happen. But I'm just wondering if the universities themselves, the private universities, will challenge this, because they must be afraid about strikes.
Oh, absolutely. The appeals are being written right now as we speak. I mean, they will definitely challenge this ruling.
You cover all these gentlemen in the NFL. You must have your ear to the ground as far as what people think about a decision like this. I mean, guys that are in the NFL that came out of NCAA athletics, would they be in favor of something like this? You know, an afterthought?
I think the aftermath or the effect of this decision is the fact that players will receive stipends. They will get paid. And I think 100% of my clients are all for that. Players receiving a stipend on top of their scholarship. However, the downside with the labor unrest, the possibility of Pandora's box being open, the slippery slope, that's an aftermath that we don't want to go down.
There's another question, which is what it's going to do to the cost. I mean, frankly, the thing that concerns me the most is the cost of tuition. As somebody who pays tuition, I think most people out there are most concerned about what this will do to tuition. Do you think that it's possible? Because very often when you have the money coming into a university, whether it's government grants or more money for athletic program, all costs go up because the university says to the parents, look, we're providing you with all this incredible stuff for your kids, therefore we can raise the cost of tuition.
That's correct. I mean, I think that's a very profound way to look at it. The cost of subsidizing these players, these athletes, with salaries, with stipends, that'll be borne by the entire student population.
And Eugene, I think a lot of people don't understand the fact that the money that is brought in by football programs like LSU, that money then goes to facilitate other programs that would not exist without those dollars coming through. Not to mention academic programs and buildings and facilities that are built with that money coming in from the football program. You know, so it's the non-athletes that benefit from this as well.
Right, and you're going to have Title IX considerations as well.
Certainly.
Should this go down.
Unbelievable.
Right. Eugene Lee.
By the way, what do you think the NFL thinks about this?
I don't think the NFL wants to see this happen.
Why?
I think they've seen enough with their own situation, their own experience in terms of collective bargaining between the players and the teams.
Interesting. Eugene Lee, great to have you in. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eugene.
Very interesting decision. Well, look.